And so my first tip that I want to give to you when it comes to manifesting your goals, pretty much guaranteed, is not doing things that don't resonate with your being. Like if it doesn't resonate you, don't do it. You can have the most successful person tell you that this is how you create success, do this, and this, and you'll be successful. But if it's not in alignment with your heart, you know, sometimes, you know, you just want to try and figure out not how to reinvent the wheel, but do it in a way which is more in alignment with who you are. Like, for example, I've been listening to a Tony Robbins sort of morning ritual routine. And the practice is basically just being grateful, you know, expressing gratitude, and then visualizing in that state of gratitude afterwards. So it's just a two-step process. Be grateful and express gratitude. But he also says to include one more thing, which is walking. He basically says, be grateful, visualize whilst walking. For me, the walking part is out of alignment. I prefer to lay in bed, feeling comfortable and doing that process. I'm able to reach my emotions much better. I feel more zen-like. I don't know how to explain it, but the feeling is much more conducive with myself and what I'm creating in my life. Does that make sense? So what I'm saying here is I'm not following his instructions completely. Like I'm not following it to the T just because Tony Robbins said to do it and he's a billionaire, you know, or he's got $1 billion company. You know, I'm not just doing it because that's what he says to do and forcing myself to do something that feels not, you know, totally in alignment with me. You know, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. You want to use your own critical thinking in a way and not get into this sense of submissiveness, which is what we've been taught to listen to authority, listen to the government, listen to the teacher, you know. And so, you know, you want to take a degree of what they're saying. So if you're watching my videos, take, you know, 70% of it, 65%, 80% of it, and then adjust it to who you are as a person. Now, the second thing, you know, I want to share with you is that you don't want to go too far with this, right? You don't want to reinvent the wheel because you have conditioning. So, for example, there might be things that you like doing, but you have subconscious conditioning around doing that thing. You know, for years, I knew that I loved doing YouTube videos, but there was a part of myself that were blocking me from doing it. I felt resistance. I felt like it was hard work. I felt like, you know, it's going to take a long time to do. There's a lot of moving parts. You know, I was dealing with certain conditioning around even being financially free. I was dealing with certain conditioning with being okay with doing things for myself. You know, I was unable to basically, I was resisting making videos because I was doing something for me. I mean, when you go to a job, you're not only doing it for you, you're doing it for the consequences as well. Like you won't have the money, you know, you're going to let down your team, your boss, you know, is going to, you know, sack you if you're not on time, you know. So there's negative consequences to going to work and there's positive consequences to going to work. When you're working for yourself and you're wanting to start your own business and you're doing all this stuff, it's a different mindset. You have to be self-sufficient and you have to find your own motivation, your own drive to get things done because there's no real sort of, how do you say, you know, big reasons why you shouldn't do it. It's kind of things that you have to kind of figure out. You have to think about that, well, if I don't do this, it's going to cost me this, and this. You have to like intentionally find the reasons. Whereas when it comes to a job, you already know through your parents, through conditioning or whatever it is that you need to be on time. You're not supposed to be late. You can get the sack. Like, you know these things about a job just naturally through hearing it through the grapevine. Does that make sense? Whereas when it comes to working for yourself, you don't really know. You're kind of figuring things out for yourself. And so a lot of people find it challenging to be motivated, to be consistent, to get more stuff done when it comes to working for yourself. And so there's a lot of unconditioning, unlearning that needs to happen, a lot of deprogramming. And I always tell people you want to deprogram before you reprogram. Deprogram, reprogram, deprogram, reprogram. You have to let go of who you used to be so you can bring in who you need to be. You need to let go of who you used to be so you can let in who you need to be. And I specifically said need to be, not to become. Okay? Because when you become, right, you are always become. Like, you want to be the person that creates the outcomes that you want. So for me, something that I do in terms of being is I make things that I'm creating normal. And that's why I created affirmations. Affirmations are statements where you say it's normal for me to, okay? And me, in my opinion, is more powerful than I am. I don't know about you, test it for yourself. When you say I am, how does it feel? Does it feel like you, or does it feel like you're talking like to someone else? When you say me, right, do you feel like it's actually you, right? So I use statements. I created this process called affirmations where you say, it's normal for me to travel all over the world. It's normal for me to make large amounts of money easily. It's normal for me to be in a loving, healthy, and romantic relationship. You make what you want normal. You become the reality that you want now. You program the subconscious mind that it's 100% normal, 100% natural for you to have what it is that you want by being it now, by making it normal to you. Not putting it on a pedestal, not putting it below you, making it isness. And the isness is making what you want normal. Isness is where a lot of manifestations come into reality. And it's that 0 point, that sort of dark matter that really creates worlds. And when we tap into that and we're not so focused on positive, negative, but just isness, we can birth a new reality much easier because we are transcending logic, we're transcending the ego mind. Does that make sense? And so, again, these affirmations are very powerful, but it's so important to deprogram before you reprogram. Does that make sense? Unlearning, letting go of the old self so you can bring in the new self. So conditioning and undoing is very important for guaranteeing, your manifestations or your goals, manifesting your goals will work for you. So the last thing that I wanted to share with you, number 3, is what is your domino, or what are your few dominoes which is going to create the success that you want. So let's say, for example, you want to make 6 figures a year. Let's say you want to work full-time from home. You want to, be able to take care of the kids. You want to work, a few hours a day. You want to wake up when you want. You want to have the ability to have enough financial freedom to be able to travel, having location freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. If you're someone that wants these things, you have to ask yourself, okay, what do I need to do to create that have? What I need to be first, and then what do I need to do, and then so I can have that reality. Okay, and so there's certain action steps that are required. And so when it comes to the law of attraction, if we look at the word attraction, the word attraction has the word attract and action in. Okay, so we look at the word attraction, it has the word attract and action in. The word attract is feminine, receiving. The vagina, receiving, feminine, right? It's going inward, right? And then the word action is masculine, right? The masculine is the penis, it's the outward, it's the moving forward, it's the getting stuff done. We need both in order to birth a new reality. We need both the masculine and the feminine to create a new reality. And what's very interesting about this word is the feminine comes first. Attraction comes before action, all right? So we use the law of attraction to visualize the life that we want, to get into the emotional state of having what it is that we want, and then we take action towards it. And so we need to ask ourselves, what is our domino or dominoes, that's gonna create the reality that we want. What do I mean by dominoes? I mean the specific actions, the big ones, right? The big specific actions which are gonna lead to a specific outcome. In this example, and what I do is I know if I make a certain amount of videos per week, 2 to 3 videos per week, over farther time, I'm going to be able to achieve a certain amount of subscribers. I'm going to be able to make a certain amount of money. I'm going to be able to reach a certain amount of people. And that leads to more travel, more helping people, more studying, learning, growing, going to seminars, more coaching clients, helping more people, etc., etc. It leads to specific outcomes. In my mind, I know all I need to do is focus on creating content. If I just focus on that one domino of creating content, it leads to so many other manifestations. And so you want to kind of reverse engineer and kind of figure out, okay, what is the key things that I need to do on a daily basis or multiple times a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, which will eventually lead to a specific outcome. And some teachers say you need to do it every day. I don't 100% agree with that. You want to get to the point of, again, going into what resonates for you and not forcing it. When you're forcing it, you're too much in the masculine, all right? And so going back to ego-based versus heart-based, or feminine-based versus masculine-based. If you're more feminine-based when it comes to the law of attraction, and you want to, for example, again, build a 6-figure business, you want to have time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, and then you're using your head, your logic, in order to manifest only, right? You're going to have a real hard time in manifesting, because the manifesting is mostly ego-based. Now, if that same intention of having financial freedom, time freedom, location freedom is coming from purity, when it's coming from the heart, when it's coming from the feminine, when it's coming from the Most High, when it's coming from that isness that I spoke to you about, right? When it's coming from that space, and you're more feminine based, which means you're more spiritual, you're more heart based, you're more focused on activating more of your femininity, then those goals will manifest much easier. Okay. Now, I'm not saying to totally eliminate the masculine side. I use my logic. The logic is very important, right? The first is the heart. The second is the mind. So I'll use my heart to figure out what genuinely is in alignment with me. Is it a pure intention, or is it an intention that ego-based has taught me? That life has taught me, I need this money, I need this. Is it really coming from you, or is it coming to you? You've been told it, or it's coming from you, it's going outwards. It's actually your intention, and it's your unique intention. I'm not saying that for example, like some people might assume that when I'm saying unique intention, that you need to have a different number. Really, like I'm going to manifest 100,999 blah 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 dollars. No, I'm not saying like that, and like it needs to be specific or anything like that. What I'm saying is the uniqueness of your own imprint of what it is that you want. Two people can want to become a singer, right? But they can both have their unique perspectives on why they're wanting to become a singer. Do you know what I'm saying? And so you need to find out what that is for you, genuinely, authentically in alignment with you. And when it comes from that pure intention, it's more godlike. It's coming from source or God or the universe. And so it's coming more from the feminine. It manifests a lot easier. And then you use the mind to navigate, to discern whether that person's good for you or not, that business partner, that relationship, or whatever it is, to discern using your mind. Do I start on Instagram, or do I start on YouTube? The practical application, right? The practical side, right? And so the mind, what does the masculine do in real life? The masculine protects, right? The masculine defends, right? Your mind is for defense. It's for structure. It's for practicality. It's to navigate, right? Whereas the feminine is used to cultivate the emotions, it's used to identify your purpose, your passion work. It's used to get into that state of receiving and allowing. We got to use both, okay? And so a lot of teachers will only teach one side. Okay, I just got to visualize all day, and then, it will just manifest. Yes, you can manifest in that way. Yes, that way works. But, why are we leaving out, the other aspect of life? Why are we missing out the masculine? Some teachers are a little more on the masculine side, more practical, more logical, and they'll teach you to write down your goals and just hustle, and that will create the reality that you want. Why are we separating these two things and assuming that, this person's right, you should do it this way, this person's right, you should do it this way? In my opinion, you want to bring the both together. Our entire reality works with masculine and feminine energy. The sun is having sex with the grass and the flowers and the trees. Whether you like it or not, that's what's happening, right? We wouldn't have plants, trees, and all this stuff without, light and the sun and the heat, right? They are masculine, sun, earth, feminine, right? They're coming together, right? To create, right? It's happening in nature all of the time. And so many of us are out of alignment and out of tune with the feminine. Many of us are out of tune with the masculine. If you are not able to be practical and take action, there's some masculine traits missing. There's determination missing, maybe self-belief missing, maybe consistency missing, maybe structuring your day a little bit more missing. And for me, I'm not an overly structured person. I do have structure in my life, but I am unable to go into being totally militant. I don't want to be totally militant. Why? Because it doesn't resonate, right? It just doesn't resonate. Can I reprogram my subconscious mind to do better at being more structured and being more, disciplined in that way? Absolutely, right? But, it doesn't, my heart doesn't say to do that, right? My heart says I want to have a bit of flexibility and creativity and spontaneity in what I do, and whilst having the masculine, having the structure that, I'm going to make, 2 to 3 videos per week. I'm going to set my business up in a way where we're receiving money. I've set my business up so I be able to receive money, but that's a more logical and practical thing. So again, it needs to resonate, but don't overly think that everything needs to resonate. So many people, I think you need to overly resonate. Sometimes that's subconscious blocks. Sometimes that's your own self-sabotage, that it doesn't resonate. Don't get overly feminine about everything needs to resonate. No, right? Sometimes you are blocking your blessings by saying something doesn't resonate, okay? So make sure that you're not confusing the two. Okay, you have to really understand and know when you're blocking yourself, know when you got limiting beliefs that say, this is not the right fit to you. A lot of people confuse intuition with fear. There's a difference between intuition and fear. If you're afraid to do something, some people don't even know they have fear. They just think, oh, it's my intuition, right? And they're avoiding discomfort in order to have more comfort. Don't let that happen to you. Okay, you'll get stuck in a cycle and you won't make any progress on your goals. So there's a balance with that. And again, number 2, you want to uncondition, unlearn, right? Unlearn what you've been taught so you can be what you need to be in order to create the reality that you want. And then you need to find your dominoes. What is your domino? What is the 1 to 3 things that you need to do consistently in order to get to your outcome? A lot of people think, oh, I have to do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and then that's going to achieve my goal. No, usually, most of the time, it's literally just 1 or 2 things that you need to do to get to the outcome that you want. And everything else needs to be outsourced or given to someone else, or it's pretty much irrelevant. When some people start up a social media, they want to do Instagram, they do want to do TikTok, they want to do Facebook, they want to do YouTube, they want to do all these different things. But in reality, all you need to do is figure out which one resonates with you the most, which one's in alignment with you the most, and master that like crazy. You master it like crazy, you get really good at it, you become a genius at it, and then guess what happens? You get a lot of growth in that area. and you make more progress. For people in real estate, for example, it might be just making calls, more calls. Or it might be networking more, a lot of networking. Or it might be both of them. Do those things all the time consistently. It's going to lead to more deals. It's going to lead to more closes. It's going to lead to more this. That where you resonate at is very important in manifesting your reality. Okay. When it comes to manifesting, your vibration, your energy, the unseen, right? The hidden. We can only see certain frequencies. We can only hear certain frequencies. Okay, we can't see our chakra system. Some people can see the aura, but most people can't see auras and all of this stuff. So we don't know what's blocking us in the hidden, right? In the unseen. And so there's a lot of things happening in the unseen that's blocking us from success, that we don't know about, especially around the area of the heart. And so what I do is I offer a free energy reading to detect what's blocking you, to find out what's going on with your energy. But we also provide the practical side, the side where you actually take the action, right? Attraction, you take the action in order to get the results. What is the practical side? What is the masculine side? What is the logical side? So the energy reading is the more of the heart-based stuff. What is the spiritual stuff that you need to do on an energetic level? But then also, what's the practical stuff that I need to do in order to get the results that I want in your life? Send us a message on WhatsApp, and I would love to provide you this energy reading to let you know a little bit more about what's going on with you. And then you'll be able to get a manifestation diagnosis session as well to really transform your life in really powerful ways. People have said this to be the most powerful call they've ever got on the law of attraction. And so we can't wait to help you. So let me know what you learned from this video. I know it's quite long. And thank you for watching all the way to the end. Please give it a thumbs up to support the channel, and leave that comment below. And if you want to learn how I manifested $80,000 in 30 days using the law of exposure, check out this video right here. If you want to learn more about my 3-part process, 3-part series on how to raise your vibration properly, check out this series over here. And remember to keep learning, keep growing, keep expanding, and I'll speak to you soon. Peace.